Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the December 1st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about here in today's edition of the video. Big storm system coming up as we go through tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then a lot of interesting weather, of course, over the weekend. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with how things look this morning. And this is the infrared satellite imagery. Things very quiet here across the Carolinas as we have generally a clear sky. Temperatures are really bottomed out this morning. Many folks have dipped down at or below freezing. A lot of upper 20s showing up this morning as well. But clouds building back in Alabama and Mississippi. Those are high clouds streaming off to the northeast in advance of our next storm system. Big upper level low currently pinwheeling through northern parts of Old Mexico. That is tapping lots and lots of moisture out ahead of that. And already this morning we're seeing the rain spread into Louisiana and Texas, and this is going to be the very beginnings of a heavy rain event. Let me show you the upper air chart. This is off the just released 6C version of the GFS today, and there's that big upper level low back in West Texas, and this is really going to be a blockbuster storm system. A couple of the other parameters here. This is the surface chart for today. Now notice over our area things are very quiet. Have an area of high pressure sort of keeping things very, very quiet today. A lot of sunshine, our high temps in the 50s, but there's all that rain breaking out off to our west and southwest. Let's go out to the day tomorrow. This is 1 in the afternoon tomorrow, and notice that area of low pressure by that point in time has lifted on up into parts of eastern Tennessee. Lots and lots of moisture streaming out ahead of that in the form of rain, and it looks like the rain will be into the Piedmont of North Carolina, maybe even the southern Piedmont as soon as very late tonight, but not by then. Certainly by the time we get to the first few daylight hours of tomorrow. So it's going to be moving on in with time as we get into the day for tomorrow. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty heavy rain event. And then we'll have to watch the thunderstorm potential. This is the look at the 500 millibar chart here off the GFS. Pretty strong shortwave moving in. And this is valid 7 o'clock in the evening. That's the 850 millibar chart. Still just a screaming low-level jet here. 50, 60, 70 knots plus across the entire region. And it still looks like the atmosphere is going to get fairly unstable. This is the GFS surface dew points in that yellow shade here. Let me see if I can draw that line for you. This shade of yellow right there, that is the 60-degree dew point temperature line. And so that means the air mass is going to get pretty unstable here across much of the eastern Carolinas. Now, how far west that instability makes it, I'm not sure yet. There's the Storm Prediction Center Day 2 convective outlook, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty good severe weather event for the eastern Carolinas. I'd say from Columbia toward Raleigh and points east from there. Looks like we'll have to really closely monitor for severe weather potential tomorrow late in the afternoon into the evening hours. Now, as far as the Triad and the Charlotte zones are concerned, it's a little more uncertain. I'm not sure how unstable the air mass can get, but I do still think it's possible. We'll have some severe weather to contend with even back at the I-85 corridor late tomorrow and tomorrow evening. That will depend on if we can get that unstable air mass in here. So that'll be something we're watching very closely. So heavy rain with this system. It pulls out by tomorrow night, and here's a look at the rainfall totals off this is the HPC, their rainfall total forecast here for the next 3 days. Notice you're looking at 7-inch totals along the Gulf Coast, more flooding, a good possibility in Georgia, and then those pretty good rain totals move up into the Carolinas. This looks like a good 1 to 2 inch rainfall event with some localized higher amounts, so a healthy rain event. Definitely looks on the way, and we'll have to watch that thunderstorm potential as well. All right, Friday, Thursday as well. Thursday looks like a pretty quiet day. Friday looks like a pretty quiet day, but what's this going on here? Looks like another little short wave rounding the base of this trough. So action taking off in Texas during the day Friday. That is snow in eastern Texas, even pretty far south down into Texas. And then we go out to 108 hours here. And again, this is the 6C GFS. Low pressure located along the Carolina coast near the Outer Banks, and a lot of precip falling here on this run of the GFS across the Carolinas. And again, this is your 850 millibar 0-degree line, really pretty close to Interstate 85. And the parallel run of the GFS is fairly similar as well. The models yesterday started picking up on this potential, and it looks like a lot of the modeling really is latched onto this scenario now. Let me show you a couple of the other models. This is the Canadian model, and here's the precip chart in the bottom right. The precip very light, but it is also indicating a little light snow across the region Saturday. Let's go to the European and look at the upper left-hand chart. Pretty good 500 millibar disturbance there. Surface low near the outer banks. And a lot of moisture, both at 700 and 850 millibars. So the European generally on board with the scenario as well. So for Saturday, interesting. Looks like with my package this morning, my forecast package this morning, I've gone ahead and I mentioned rain Saturday across the region, and it's certainly possible. It could at least mix with some wet snow. And if everything lines up correctly, maybe a little bit of snow that could stick to the ground in a couple spots in the northwest Piedmont or the western and southern Piedmont. It's just way too soon for any type of specifics, but a lot of the models have latched onto that weekend storm system now, and that'll certainly be something we're watching. Probably not a major system, but it could wind up being something significant for somebody across the region. So this will be something to watch for sure as we head on into the weekend. After that, chilly period of weather here Sunday and Monday. Looks like Sunday's highs probably in the mid to upper 40s in many spots, and it still looks like we'll dip into the 20s for lows by Sunday and Monday morning, assuming we get the clouds out of here in time Saturday night. So a lot going on. Let me recap real quick here. Today's quiet. Tomorrow and tomorrow night, rain, thunderstorms, heavy rain a possibility. We'll watch the severe weather potential. Quiet Thursday and Friday. And then as we go into the weekend, we have that system Saturday that bears watching. Certainly interesting, to say the least. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great Tuesday, and God bless.